What if I told you one whistle, or the absence of one, exposed the biggest pressure point in women's basketball? Not because a league collapsed overnight. Not because of some secret conspiracy dump. But because one moment on the court forced millions of fans to ask a brutal question: when the brightest star in the game gets hit, ignored, and left to fight through it, what exactly is the league protecting? Don't click away yet. Because this story is bigger than one foul, one game, or one player. By the end, we're going to separate what's real from what's viral, what fans are feeling from what the facts actually show, and why this controversy has become one of the most emotionally charged moments in modern sports. And if you care about basketball, fairness, and the future of the WNBA, subscribe now, because this conversation is only getting louder, and you're going to want every piece of it. When the arena changes mood. There are games where the tension builds slowly. And then there are nights where you can feel the entire atmosphere turn in a single instant. The contact happens. A body goes down or stumbles off balance. One side says it was basketball. The other says it was reckless. The officials either let it go or don't react the way fans expect. And suddenly, it's not just about the play anymore. It's about every play that came before it. Every missed whistle. Every hard bump. Every replay shared 1,000 times. Every fan who already believed this was coming. That's why moments like these explode. They don't live in isolation. They land on top of frustration that's already been building for weeks and months. And with Caitlin Clark, that frustration has had fuel from the very beginning. She came into the league with historic attention, historic expectations, and the kind of spotlight that changes the temperature of every arena she walks into. The truth that makes this so complicated. Now here's where people lose the plot. If you freeze frame almost any high-speed basketball collision, it can look awful. Slow motion can make intent look obvious even when real time feels chaotic. That's what makes these controversies so combustible. Fans see the still image and feel outrage instantly. Coaches see a pattern and demand protection. Officials see a fast, physical game where everything is happening at once. And that gap, between what fans feel, what coaches argue, and what referees call, is where the entire storm lives. That doesn't mean the anger is fake. It means the anger is colliding with a sport that moves too fast for easy answers. But here's the part nobody can ignore anymore: the Clark officiating debate didn't appear out of nowhere. It has been building because the public keeps seeing the same kind of sequence, the same kind of debate, and the same kind of aftermath. Why fans believe this isn't random? When people say this is about more than a single play, they're not just being dramatic. Clark entered the WNBA as the most watched and most discussed rookie in the sport. She wasn't just another #1 pick. She was a ratings event. A box office draw. A player who changed demand the second she arrived. The WNBA's own numbers tell the story. The league said its 2024 season drew more than 54 million unique viewers, reached its highest attendance in 22 years with 2,353,735 total fans, and averaged 9,807 fans per game. It also reported 154 sellouts, up 242% from the previous season. WNBA. Indiana became the center of that surge. The league said the Fever set a single-season home attendance record with 340,715 fans, and Indiana was involved in all 3 games that topped 20,000 fans. WNBA. Earlier in the season, the momentum was already obvious. NPR reported that more than 400,000 people attended WNBA games in May 2024, with more than half of those games selling out. It also noted that a Fever Mystics game in Washington drew more than 20,300 fans, the highest attendance for a WNBA game in 17 years at that point. NPR. So when fans feel Clark isn't being protected, they don't see it as ordinary. They see the league's biggest attraction taking repeated hits while carrying a historic wave of attention on her shoulders. That's why the emotion is so intense. To the audience, this is not just a basketball issue. It feels like a business issue, an image issue, and a future of the league issue all at once. What was real, and what was not? Now let's clear the smoke, because this is where a lot of online storytelling goes completely off the rails. There is no verified evidence that the WNBA collapsed in real time. In fact, the official numbers show the exact opposite: record viewership, record attendance growth, record digital engagement, and record merchandise sales in 2024. WNBA. There is also no credible evidence that the league announced some sweeping investigation into every referee from Clark's games or suspended officials because of viral outrage. PolitiFact reviewed those claims and rated them false. PolitiFact. And that matters. Because if you want a strong argument, you don't need fake leaks, panic headlines, or fantasy-level collapse language. The real story is powerful enough on its own: a generational star, a league under a microscope, officiating that keeps sparking backlash, and a fan base that no longer trusts the benefit of the doubt. That's the story. And honestly, that story hits harder because it's true. Why the officiating debate refuses to die. The Clark conversation doesn't stay alive because every fan agrees. It stays alive because nobody fully agrees, and the uncertainty makes people even louder. Some viewers think she gets hammered without protection. Others think the physicality is normal and the spotlight magnifies everything. Some believe certain veterans resent the attention around her. Others think that narrative oversimplifies a league full of fierce competitors who have spent years building the game long before Clark arrived. But even outside that debate, one thing is undeniable: Clark draws an emotional response unlike almost anyone else in the sport right now. And when emotion gets mixed with officiating, every whistle becomes symbolic. A no call is no longer a no call. It becomes disrespect. A hard foul is no longer just contact. It becomes evidence. A coach's outburst is no longer routine frustration. It becomes a rallying cry. That's why these moments keep catching fire. The national conversation changed for a reason. When major voices in sports started speaking up, it wasn't because of some hidden dossier or leaked documents. It was because the frustration had become impossible to ignore. Stephen A. Smith argued that there is a level of resentment surrounding Clark and said the WNBA should ride that wave instead of resenting it, framing her as the kind of star who can elevate everyone around her. YouTube. That point landed because it tapped into something bigger than officiating. It touched the nerve at the center of this whole era. How does a league embrace a megastar without reducing everyone else? How do you celebrate the player bringing in millions of eyes without making it sound like the rest of the sport didn't matter until she arrived? That tension is real. And it is emotional on all sides. For longtime fans, there's pride. For newer fans, there's excitement. For players, there's competition and scrutiny. For the league, there's opportunity, but also pressure, because every mistake now gets judged under a much brighter light. The numbers behind the pressure. And that light is not small. The WNBA said 22 regular season telecasts in 2024 averaged at least 1 million viewers, and the All-Star Game drew a record 3.4 million viewers. WNBA. The same official release said merchandise sales rose 601% year-over-year, social video views nearly hit 2 billion, and League Pass subscriptions grew 366%. WNBA. Clark herself added to the sense that history was unfolding in real time. The league said she set the WNBA's single-season assists record with 337, the single-game assists record with 19, and rookie records for points and three-pointers. WNBA. So no, this is not a story about a player who simply showed up and got attention for nothing. This is a story about performance meeting pressure. About hype meeting proof. About stardom becoming responsibility. And once that happens, fans expect the league to look sharper, sound clearer, and act faster. The real fear hiding under the anger. Here's what the loudest arguments are really saying underneath all the shouting. People are afraid the league is wasting a historic moment. That's the fear. Not that one bad call ruined everything. Not that one game changed sports forever. But that repeated confusion, inconsistent physicality, and messy public reactions can chip away at trust during the very moment the sport should be converting casual curiosity into lifelong loyalty. Fans can handle physical basketball. Fans can handle rivalry. Fans can even handle controversy. What they struggle to handle is the feeling that nobody is in control of the moment. Because when viewers start believing the standard is unclear, they don't just debate calls, they question the whole environment. And once that happens, every future incident arrives preloaded with suspicion. This is where the story gets more human. Strip away the hot takes for a second, and you can see why this story keeps resonating. A young superstar enters the league carrying impossible expectations. Veterans are expected to compete, but also somehow manage the public mood. Coaches have to protect their players while staying measured. Officials have to make split-second calls while being dissected frame by frame online. And fans are watching all of it in real time, turning every emotion into a movement. That is not a normal rookie season. That is not a normal sports environment. That is a pressure cooker. And pressure cookers don't just test talent. They reveal how strong the system around the talent really is. So where does this actually go from here? The WNBA does not need fantasy drama to keep people watching. It doesn't need fake leaks. It doesn't need made-up sponsor collapses. It doesn't need "the league is dead" headlines that fall apart the second you check the facts. What it needs is consistency. Clear officiating. Better communication. And the confidence to protect the spectacle without apologizing for the intensity of the competition. Because the opportunity in front of this league is enormous. The attention is real. The audience is real. The money is growing. The stakes are growing. And whether people love Clark, resent the coverage around her, or are simply tired of the discourse, they are still watching. That may be the most important truth in this entire story. The ending nobody should ignore. So no, this is not the death of the WNBA. If anything, it's the opposite. This is what it looks like when a league becomes too big to hide its flaws. Too visible to brush off controversy. Too important for fans to stay quiet. And that's why this moment matters. Because the question is no longer whether the WNBA has the world's attention. It does. The question is what the league does with that attention now. Does it clean up the confusion? Does it protect the stars without softening the sport? Does it turn outrage into growth? Or does it let every new controversy deepen the divide between what fans are seeing and what the league is saying? That answer is still being written. And the next whistle might say more than any headline ever could. Subscribe before the next chapter. If you want more fact-checked sports stories told with the drama they deserve, without the fake outrage, fake leaks, and fake collapse narratives, subscribe now. Because this story isn't over, the pressure isn't fading, and the next twist may hit a lot harder than the last one.